Oh, hey, you're playing Helldivers. Are you enjoying the game?
I wanted to buy Helldivers 2 because I had heard very good things about the game, but I was on the fence because I thought this will be one of those co op games that you buy to play with friends and you play it for a few weeks and then the game just rots in your library. Then, a friend of mine who I play Siege with asked me to buy the game and said that we can play it together. So I finally caved in and I got the game in December during the winter sale and I immediately fell in love with the game and its presentation. So I decided that I wanted to cosplay as a Helldiver for the upcoming Mumbai Comic Con and I started doing research on how I could make a costume. I first looked up a costume on YouTube and I found a free Helldiver helmet tutorial from Ashen Warrior Props, and I then stumbled across a foam template pattern for the cosplay on Etsy which I had to fix and scale. Now the challenge that I faced was finding a foam sheet that was large and thick enough for my armor. I finally found a place that sells large foam sheets, so I got one and got started. At first, I was super confused and scared on what part of the armor I should start with. Since the body armor was going to require scaling, I got started with the helmet as it did not require any scaling. The helmet was probably the most challenging part of the armor. The Etsy template that I had purchased was missing a lot of details, so I decided to follow Ashen Warrior Props' template for the helmet. The dome was a challenge as it was all individual pieces, unlike other helmet templates that have a central joint or a flower like pattern, which is what I like to call it. This would have not been possible without a heat gun, which I borrowed from my coworker, and it required three people just to hold and shape the pieces together. In order to seal the seams, I found it best to use the Fevicryl molded clay and then sand it, and I had some help from another coworker with the sanding of the dome. For the rest of the helmet, the neck part was challenging to glue as it was in a semicircular shape, but I managed to put it together. Now, for this circular disc at the back, this disc had these inset circular faces, which I achieved by heating a metal cap of a pen and pressing it on the circular disc just hard enough to not perforate the foam. For the small detail pieces, I used a combination of 5mm 2mm foam. For the visor, I initially thought of using an acrylic sheet, but I was not confident if it would actually stick. So, what a coworker advised me to do was to get a laminated sheet and then apply a black window tint sheet on top, which gave a pretty good result. Unfortunately, at the time I could not find a darker tint sheet, but this was good enough. The entire armor was made out of 6mm foam sheets. The hardest part when it came to the rest of the body armor was the chest. Not only was scaling an issue, but I also had to manage how I was going to glue the front and the back together. So what I ended up doing was gluing the back and the chest on the shoulder joint and leaving the bottom side open so that I would still be able to wear it comfortably. Rest of the parts were fairly simple as they were just pieces stacked on top of each other. So in the game, the Helldivers have a device on their forearm which is used to call in reinforcements and strikes and whatnot. Also, if you're using the in-game text chat, there's a very cool typing animation for it. So I looked at what other cosplayers had done, and most of them had either kept it empty or just had a flat image, and the closest thing that came to it was this item on Etsy. I decided that I wanted to take it to the next level and have something interactive. So I made this mobile app using Unity. I sourced the icons and the audio files and wrote the code for it in C# and had some guidance from my professor. I got an armband and inserted my phone in it and attached it to the forearm piece.
Engaging orbital laser. Aiming at an eagle. Here comes the cavalry. Orbital barrage incoming. Stand clear. Requesting advanced weaponry. Deploying weapon emplacement.
Your fellow Helldivers rage against the enemy's tyranny. Do it.
Calling in a Hellbomb. Hellbomb request approved. Deploying now.
The entire suit took two 400 ml cans of spray paint. I was unsure of what type of finish I should go for. At first, I got a glossy spray paint and it did not look good. I then went for a matte black finish where I made another blunder as the can of spray paint I got was oil based, I think, rather than it being acrylic. I still ended up utilizing it for the rest of the body parts, and when that can was over, I bought another acrylic spray paint can and used it for the chest and helmet. For priming the armor, I used a water based wall primer. I applied 3 coats of primer for every piece. The gun was a last minute addition as I thought it would be very boring to go without a weapon. And since I had some spare foam lying around, I decided to make it. The template was from Etsy and this is the SG225 Breaker shotgun from the game. The gun was made with 6mm foam sheets and 2mm for the details. And for the paint, I used the metallic spray can that I had gotten earlier. I got 2 of these tactical ammo pouches from Amazon along with the belt, balaclava, gloves and the spandex suit. I got the cape and the belly cloth stitched from my friend's dad who's a tailor. Lastly, I would like to thank everyone that helped me put this together. This was my first attempt at making a body armor and I had a lot of fun making this.